Okay, so this last part of 7.3, solving by elimination. The other day we talked about if we manipulated one of the two problems to be able to solve for the variable, or to be able to get a variable cancel out. So we could do that. So this was multiply each by step 5, and then you see that you have an opposite. So there are going to be occasions where you might have to multiply both equations to get one term to cancel out. So that's what we're covering today. All right, so when we're solving by elimination, when we look at these, we can notice that we have, these are opposites, but definitely not the same, and these are the same, but also not, they're not opposite numbers, right? They're not the same number in opposites, or whatever I'm trying to say, right? We need to have one negative, one positive of the same number. The easy way to go about doing this is whatever, if you pick two of your terms, like if I pick a 4 and a 7, you just multiply everything by the opposite, right? Because then you'll know that your x's would cancel out. You could also think of it as, you have a 2 and a 3, so if I multiply this by a 3 and that by a 2, you would get them to cancel out as well. Because these are opposites, this would probably be the easiest way to do it. However, I feel like consistency, when I've worked with students, they kind of focus on the first one because this is kind of buried within the problem, so it doesn't stand out as much. So when I do this problem, I'm actually going to get my x's to cancel out and show you how to do that. As you get more comfortable and you can see the problem within the problem, I would personally get the y's to cancel out first, but I'm going to start with the x's. So if I look at this, I need to make these both the same number. So if I do multiply a 4 by 7 and a 7 by 4, we would get 28 for both of those. However, they're not the opposite, so they would not cancel out. So we need to make one of these a negative and one of them a positive. All right, so I could use this as a positive, which means this would have to be a negative. You could make the 7 a negative, but then you would remain, or the 4 would remain a positive. Okay, so now from here, we are going to multiply this 7 by each term in the problem, and multiply this negative 4 by each term in the problem, and then we're going to line them up again, okay? So the first thing is determining what we're going to multiply them by. So now I'm going to take this 7 times each one of these. And again, I want you guys to be comfortable using a calculator just to make sure. Double check everything, right? 7 times 4. How hard is it to put it in a calculator? 7 times 4. If you're not sure, 28. So this would be, I'm going to do this one in red. 28x, 7 times 2, all right? And even if you have this up, you just back them out. 14 plus 14y equals 7 times 14. That's a big one. 98. Okay, so now I just basically multiplied that 7 by each one, increased it by a factor of 7. I'm going to do blue for the negative 4. So in your calculator, go ahead and put that negative 4 in. So you're going to multiply everything by negative 4. So negative 4 times, here we go, times 7. You should know what that is, negative 28. Because that's giving us the opposite. That's why we did it. All right, let's back this out. Negative 4 times, and now I'm going to put the negative 3 in there because that's the term we're looking at, would be a positive 12. So I'm going to put a plus 12y equals, and then negative 4 times negative 8, and that gives us a positive 32. All right, so now we have just manipulated both of those problems. Now I'm going to combine the terms. Obviously, these are going to become 0. That was the whole point of doing 7 and negative 4. Now we can do 14 plus 12. And remember, they're both positives, so we're just adding them. 14 plus 12 equals 26y. And then 98 plus 32. And you get 130. And then our last step, of course, would be to divide by 26. That would give me my y. So my y equals whatever 130 divided by 26 is, and I'm writing up here because I'm running out of room. So 130, I can use this or this, divided by 26. That gives us 5. So y equals 5. So there is our y. A lot of work. And these are, this is why it's the part 3 of this section, okay? Again, once I get my y, now I have to solve for my x. So I can pick problem 1, problem 2. I could even pick problem 3 or problem 4 and put my y in for here and solve. But use one of your original problems. They're always going to be smaller numbers. I'm going to use problem 1, 4x plus 2y equals 14. So 4x plus 2y equals 14. I'm going to put my y, my 5 in for y. So 4x plus 2 times 5 equals 14. And do the math. 4x plus 10 equals 14. Undo the 10 by subtracting. Minus 10 from both sides. 4x equals 4. We divide by 4. And we have x equals 1. And there's my ordered pair. 1, 5. All right. Now, you can always go through the Desmos calculator on graphing. I believe I already put these in. So I put in the original problems in here already. So you can see the 4x plus 2y equals 14. 7x minus 3y equals negative 8. And I look at where they cross, 1, 5. So that checks out. I did my math correctly. All right, here's one more practice problem that we're going to look at. Again, if you want to look at these first terms right away, that's again what I would recommend until you get more comfortable to see, hey, which one would I rather multiply or to cancel out. Looking at this practice problem, if we are going to manipulate the x's, which I'm going to do just for consistency, we can see that one's a negative already, which is good. We like that. They're already opposite signs. Now we just need to make them the same number. So I'm going to multiply everything in this one by 4 and everything in this problem by 6. So you're just using the same number there, so when we multiply them together, we'll get the same number to be able to cancel out. So again, I'm gonna go through this to show you how efficient it is and how long it takes when using your calculator for these math problems. So I'm going to multiply the 4 by the 6, by the 3, and by the 27. So I'm just going to put that 4 in right away. I'm going to put times, and I'm going to put 4 times 6 from that first one, which would be 24. So this would be 24x. 4 times 3, is 12. So plus 12y equals, and then 4 times 27 equals 108. Now I'm going to do the blue one. 6. I'm putting in my 6 to start. 6 times. All right, let's start with the negative 4. We know it's going to be the opposite, so it's going to come out to negative 24. But again, consistency, I'm going to put it in there. Negative 24. And I put that x there. Now I'm multiplying by positive 7, which is 42, equals, and I know that 6 times 27 is 108, sorry, that's not 108. I was thinking the opposite. So 6 times 27 gives us 162. Now I'm combining because I have opposites. So I'll start with the 24s. Those are gone. 12 plus 42 gives us 54. So that's 54y equals 108 plus 162 equals 270. Now we do our final step. We divide by 54. They're just bigger numbers, the exact same steps that we've done in previous problems. So 270 divided by 54 equals 5. So y equals 5. That is half of our problem. Now we have to look at the original two problems. 6x plus 3y equals 27, or negative 4x plus 7y equals 27. I'm going to use the first one. So I'm going to take my 6x, I'll do this in black now, 6x plus 3y, and my y is my 5, equals 27. All right, 3 times 5. Now these are the same steps as from the very first day we started taking these notes. 6x plus 15 equals 27. Subtract 15 from both sides. 6x equals 27 minus 15. We don't have to be experts. 27 minus 15. Just be sure, 12. And then we divide by 6. We get x equals 12 divided by 6, 2. So we have 2 comma 5 as our answer of where those two lines cross. Again, if you want to, go to your Desmos calculator and type in these to check your answer. And I'll be honest, when I first started this video, I made a mistake in one of my calculations, and I had to redo the video. Sometimes I keep them in there, but I realized I added one of my numbers wrong. And when I did this, I caught my answer and was able to redo it. So 6x plus 3y equals 27. And now I have negative 4x plus 7y equals 27. And right there, 2, 5. Is that what I got? 2, 5, it checks out. All right, so good luck with this section. It can be a lot, but if you just follow those procedures, you should find success.